Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's the original tea guy here with my first tea review. I'll be reviewing Campos de Té from the Campos de Té estate in Argentina in the province of Misiones. So this is a Twinings green tea from Argentina. Not many people know that Argentina grows quite good green tea. They're mostly known for mate. So the description they have here is the tea has got a velvety texture, a nice special colour and a smooth flowery flavour. So as you can see on the plate, the tea, it's not been tightly rolled, it's quite large leaf. We have a mixture of quite dull and dark greens, and also some light greens, perhaps a little tinge of yellow here and there. And we can also see a couple stems, but it's mostly quite large, broad leaf. So what I'm just going to do is warm up my tea tasting crockery. So the packet at the back of the Twinings packet suggests 85 degrees and 1 teaspoon per person. And as always with tea, one of the most important things is temperature control. So I'm just warming up my tea tasting crockery just to make sure everything is nice and warm. So, and I'll just decant this hot water into my, this is my spare bowl. So they suggest 1 teaspoon per person. So here we go. And then 1 for the pot, but it's just myself here, so just 1 teaspoon. And we're using quite a small pot here. It's about 150 mils, so maybe a little bit more than just over 1 because of how loose the leaf is. And I'll just leave it in the teapot for, well, my tea mug, just for a few seconds, just to warm up and have a smell. So you can definitely smell there's quite a strong green, well, there's quite a strong green tea smell to it, but there's almost a milkiness. Not a huge amount of flour, mostly almost like a milky oolong. So that's the smell. Let's see how it tastes. And they say it can be steeped up to 3 to 4 times, 2 minutes per steeping, so I will do so. So here's my timer, 2 minutes. Starting now, and I'll be back in 2 minutes and we'll give this first steeping a taste. See you then. So we're just coming up to 2 minutes now, and I'll decant this into my tea tasting crockery. So from what I can see so far, it's a very light green colour, almost a very light greeny yellow. It's almost gold, well, not quite golden. Oh well, yeah, almost golden actually. So there's a good clarity to the tea, and I can't see that much broken leaf at the bottom, which is good. So let's have a look, hopefully, at the leaves. Oh, not quite. Not quite. I need to get my teaspoon out to get the leaf. To get the leaves. And so here we can see the steep leaves. You can really smell kind of a milkiness, a faint grassiness, almost a, I can't quite describe it, almost a, I wouldn't say mashed potato, but that's not quite, butteriness, that's the word I'm looking for, kind of a starchy butteriness. And with this leaves you can see that it's quite unfurled very easily because the tea was not tightly rolled. So let's have a look at, so the liquor is quite light, yellowy, almost golden, very clear. So let's have a quick taste. Ooh. So yeah, so it's quite a light tea. You can't really taste much strength to it. There's not a huge level of complexity, if I'm honest, but maybe that's just because I'm taking small sips. Yeah, so there's definitely almost a milky quality to it, and obviously it tastes very much like green tea, but there's a milkiness. I can't really taste much floweriness, if I'm honest, but maybe that's when I have a slightly bigger sip. So I'm going to decant this into this mug, just this cup, sorry, so you can see it in its glory in this nice clear cup. So in this clear cup, it looks very clear, like very watery or apple juice almost. You can barely tell it's green tea, to be perfectly honest, from the colour alone, because it's so light. Again, the smell, there's not a huge much in the aroma. A slight milkiness, a slight grassiness, but that's really all. Yeah, there's not a huge level of complexity in this first steeping. So what I might try and do is steep it a second time and see if we can get that extra complexity. So I'll be back in a moment after I've steeped it a second time. So we're coming up to the end of the second steeping, again for 2 minutes. There we go, and I'll just place it in this. Let's see how it goes. The colour looks a lot stronger. The smell. Oh, that smells a lot. So you're getting some flowery notes now. Quite a lot of grassy tones. A butteriness. So less milky, more buttery. Yep, so I'm excited to see what difference this second steeping has made. Apologies. So there's a slightly richer mouthfeel. Before it was just velvety smooth, as they say on the back of the packet, which is a slight cliche, velvety smooth. But it was truly, that first steeping was velvety smooth. You just felt it zip, kind of not quite glide down the side of one's mouth and one's throat. But this, there's a slight more body to it, slight more depth. There's a very buttery taste to it. That a kind of grassy tone is coming through, as with almost all green teas. But it's a lot more pronounced in this second steeping. So let's see how it does in the cup. So slightly darker, I don't know if you can tell. Let's have a taste. Oh, that was too big of a sip. Oh yeah, I'm definitely tasting something I didn't taste last time. Yeah, so there's kind of this perfumed, it's almost perfumed taste in the mouth. It's quite hard to explain. When it's in your mouth, you can almost smell perfume, not quite. And that might be the flowery flavour they were talking about. It's not extremely pronounced. It's more so in this second steeping than in the first. But the main thing you get is this kind of faint grassiness and what I would describe as a butteriness. Again, the texture is fantastic. It's smooth. It really does glide down the throat and the tongue. And it's a very pleasant cup of tea. So if I had to review this, if I had to give this a grade, the first infusion, I wouldn't have said it was that particularly good. It was pleasant, but there was no real complexity. Pardon me. There's nothing particularly spectacular about it. But the second infusion, much better. And for a green tea, it's quite pleasant, but there's nothing out there which is kind of shouting, screaming out at me. So I would have to give it out of, apologies, out of 5. Yeah, a 3 out of 5. So what I would say, maybe a 3.5 actually. Yeah, a 3.5 out of 5. So better than kind of your average cup of green tea, but there was nothing spectacular. It was very, don't get me wrong, it was a nice cup of tea, but there was nothing out there to make you particularly, run to the shop and get it. But so this was a review for Twinings Campos de Té from Argentina. I've been the original tea guy, and I hope you all have a pleasant afternoon. Goodbye.